150 of the country's unprecedented number of 4,000 Borstal boys are here, usually for just over 12 months. Larceny is the most common crime. There are no violent or sexual offenders here. These 10 pioneering volunteers are all carefully vetted relatives of Manchester WVS members. All are professional or businessmen and work with the city's probation officers. I spoke to one.
First of all, I'd like to ask you how much time you spend with the boy.
2 or 3 days, or I should say 2 or 3 nights per week.
Well, what sort of things do you do when you meet them?
Well, we take them by an arrangement originally to, well, a pre-arranged spot, a cafe or something like that. Have a coffee, discuss the future for them. We want to know what they're going to do when they want to come back into the world.
Young ones, darling, with the young ones, and the young ones shouldn't be afraid to live low while the flame is strong, 'cause we may not be the young ones very long. And young dreams should be dreams together, and young hearts shouldn't be afraid. And someday, when the years have flown, darling, then we'll teach the young ones all about.
People understand a modern pop song because it's a complete sort of, what can I say?
In the language they're talking.
Yeah, it's a communication that they enjoy because it's natural and it's an down-to-earth type of approach.
Well,
so they understand it because it's to do with their everyday life. But
I think
the
you're right.
church, the language that they use and the lyrics that they use and the way they present the hymns that are sung in church and at school. When I was at school, I must have sung hymns every single day of my life whilst I was at school.
Well, they didn't register.
They didn't register at all.
He's got something there, I think, don't you?
Well, I think he's got something about hymns. I mean, I remember just the same as him, year after year singing these meaningless hymns about lost sheep and what have you and all the rest of it. It meant absolutely nothing, nothing at all. Couldn't we have a tremendous rewrite of the English hymnal?
I'd be all for it.
And more tunes.
I'd be all for it.
I'll never let you see the way my broken heart is hurting me. I've got my pride and I know how to hide all my sorrow and pain. I'll do my crying in the rain. If I wait for cloudy skies, you won't know the rain from the tears in my eyes. You'll never know that I still love you so, though the heartaches remain. I'll do my crying in the rain. Standing hard, why don't they help us? Try to help us before this rain planet falls apart. satisfies you more than I do, run to him. I'll step aside. If you think his lips can kiss you better than my lips can kiss you, run to him. Forget my pride.
Vous allez voter oui?
Oui.
Monsieur.
No.
No, no.
I vote no. I am for the peace in Algeria, but not for General de Gaulle.
Yes, sure, yes.
Why?
Because I like de Gaulle, he's French, and I think so, I say yes.
You have no fear of giving him too much power?
No.
Oh, I say yes.
Do, 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 cowbell, 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 do, do.
As I walk through this world, nothing can stop the Duke of Earl. And you are my girl, and no one can.
Someone called the area around Cape Canaveral a government-controlled Disneyland, but this is a superficial, misleading view. What's happened here, quite apart from the space project, is a most serious piece of American workaday achievement. If some of what you see and hear at Cocoa Beach seems absurd, well, every nation lapses sometimes into caricature when being most seriously itself.
Being in the grocery business, more or less we take everything for granted here, but we are much interested in what's going on, and also we believe that the first man gets on the moon will be a great, if it's in the United States, it'll be a great benefit to our country, because I believe that we are running out of minerals to keep this earth going, and that we will find the minerals that we need on the moon, and also that would be strategically, militarily to our benefit to be there first.
This is the last human control. At any moment, the verniers should light.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
There
1,
is the ignition of the verniers.
0, ignition, liftoff. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
I think after all of our talk about space, though, this morning coming up from Florida on the plane with President Kennedy, we had the opportunity to meet Mrs. Kennedy and Caroline before we took off. I think Caroline really cut us down to size and put us back in our proper position, though, when after being introduced, she looked up and said, "Where's the monkey?"
Hey, baby, won't you take a chance? Say that you'll let me have this dance. Oh, let's dance. Oh, let's dance. We'll do the twist, the stomp, the mashed potato, too. Any old dance that you wanna do, but let's dance.
Come on, let's twist again, like we did last summer. Yeah, let's twist again, like we
twisting there, twisting the night. One more time.
Actually, I'm a romantic kind of dancer, but I would like to dance modern things and to try every different way which exists. Yeah.
Do you think you'll find more scope in Western ballet than you had in Russia?
What it is scope?
More chance to develop?
Oh yes, yes, that I will.
Eric Reginald Lubbock, 22,000.
I held his hand, you know, and I squeezed it, and he squeezed it back. And then after a little while, I said, hello, darling, it's Mum. Can you hear me? And I think, I don't think it was imagination, that he just muttered Mum. But anyhow, we're hoping that he'll keep going on slowly. I mean, we can't expect miracles to happen. It's got to be a slow job.
Are you going to try and persuade him to stop racing after this?
I shall ask him, yes. I haven't before, but this time I shall, definitely.
I don't know why I love you like I do. I don't know why, but I do. And I don't know why you thrill me like you do. I don't know why, you just do.
Well, you never seem to want my romancing. Well, the only time you hold me is when we're dancing. I don't know why I love you like I do. Oh, I don't know why, but I do. Well, I'm gonna hug you and I'll kiss you. What more do you want me to do? I don't know why I love you, but I do. Yes, I'm gonna hug you, baby, and I'll kiss you. What more do you want me to do? I don't know why I love you, but I do.
I have today authorized the Atomic Energy Commission and the Department of Defense to conduct a series of nuclear tests. Such series involving only those tests which cannot be held underground, to take place in the atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean.
I think the situation, I noticed one of our British newspapers, a popular newspaper, summed it up very well in these words. President Kennedy's decision to resume tests in the atmosphere is a tragedy. It means the nuclear arms race is again in full spate. But the world must realize the responsibility for this tragedy is not Kennedy's, it is Khrushchev's. And I think that is true.
Why are you demonstrating against the resumption of tests by President Kennedy?
Because I think that nuclear testing by any nation, anytime, anywhere, without the consent of or consultation of the people is immoral and destructive.
Well, depuis ce jour, j'entends ton phare. Dans mon cœur lourd comme un refrain. Oh, l'air du souvenir n'en finit plus de gémir. Well, je l'ai connu, la honte lui stole
right, the height is good, height is very good. Now half a yard to the right, half a yard to the right, and steady, steady, steady. Back half a yard, and steady, 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 steady. Pull, pull, pull. It's in, down, down, steady, 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 steady. Switch the hook on, make sure the hook is live, and steady, steady. Down, damn it, down, steady. I release the hook, I'm now playing out the rope is going out, and we're away from it now, steady, steady.
Oh yeah, don't want a four-leaf clover, don't want an old horseshoe. Want your kiss, cause I just can't miss with a good luck charm like you.
Game, set and match to Labour. Labour won by 3 sets to love, 6-2, 6-2, 6-1.
Come on and be my little good luck charm, you sweet delight. I want a good luck charm hanging on my arm, to have, to hope tonight.
Speak to me pretty, speak to me nice. Quote me those wonderful phrases, what's up to rights?
Douglas Stewart, BBC's correspondent in Washington. Are you there? Hello, Douglas Stewart. Nothing like not getting through on the telephone, is there, when you're trying to communicate? That wasn't by satellite, by the way. That was just an ordinary, we won't say whose, telephone line, which isn't at the moment working. Never mind.
Speak to me softly, speak to me sweet. Make like a fabulous poet each time we meet.
Yeah, Douglas, let me ask you to stop for a moment there. I gather we're having terrible trouble with the quality of the sound which is coming from you at the moment. An interesting commentary on events in view of what we're trying to do with Telstar. You sound all right to me, but I gather not to the world outside. I think it's possible that I may call you back shortly, but we'll leave that for the people at our end to discuss. Just for the moment, then, goodbye.
Sorry about that. Always have these bits of trouble on these occasions.
I'm speaking from the International Control Room at BBC Television Centre. In the middle of a chaos of wires and people shouting down microphones and watching monitor screens, the engineers are waiting here tonight to make television history. Now there are just 45 seconds to go, and the tension is really rather unbearable.
Here we are. Here we are. There's a bar. Now, we are anticipating... That's a man's face. There it is. There it is. That's the picture. You see it for yourself. There it is. It's a man. There's the unmistakable image. There is the first live television picture across the Atlantic with rather less than 4 minutes of available time left. And now has it disappeared? Was that it?
Once upon a dream, I met her long ago, but somehow I can't forget her. I met her once upon a dream. We built a castle where we plan to live together, precious moments in the land of never, forever, riding on our dream. I met her once upon a dream.
But sex seemed to be such an overstimulant to the young man in this film.
and even in the end to the young girl. That was the one point when I thought it wasn't quite a truthful reflection.
How old are you, Bob?
34, yes.
Well, if you think back a while, when you're 17...
Oh, yes,
18,
it irritated me enormously.
Yes.
Very few of the actors in this film are well known. Was this deliberate?
Well, it's my tendency, put it that way, Bob. I don't often use stars. I don't particularly like them. As I was saying to someone downstairs, if you have Rock Hudson in the picture, you know it's going to turn out well. You know he's not going to get killed in the second reel. Nothing bad can happen to him. And you also know how the story will turn out. It can only turn out one way. I also like to work with young actors because they come hungry. They come to work. They're eager to make good. And they come every day. They're on time, and they're eager, and they're looking for something, and so on and so on.
Crowds of the curious are held back at a respectful distance from the private funeral that Joe DiMaggio and others arranged for Marilyn Monroe. After services in the chapel of Westwood Memorial Cemetery, in which eulogies and passages from the scripture were read, the casket is placed in the hearse to be taken to a crypt on the nearby Corridor of Memories. Only her half-sister, studio workers, and close friends of the late actress, among whom none were closer than DiMaggio and his young son, attend the services, which thereby have a dignity and simplicity denied many Hollywood rites. Final prayers are offered at the crypt. DiMaggio is strongly affected as he and the other handful of mourners depart and leave the earthly remains of Marilyn Monroe to the ultimate loneliness.
I think she was a completely innocent person. I don't care what she's done in her life. She may have had all sorts of very odd experiences, but I feel they were all thrust on her from outside and didn't touch her. She may be 36, but she was a child of 11 or 12 always, and you felt that in the quality of her. She may be the end of a sort of era of those type of people. I don't think we're going to make them anymore. But she was beautiful and innocent, and I think life had been really too much for her.
Love me do, oh, love me do. Love me do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please, love me do, oh, love me do.
This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba. Within the past week, unmistakable evidence has established the fact that a series of offensive missile sites is now in preparation on that imprisoned island. The purpose of these bases can be none other
than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere.